welcome to Aspheric News Money Update. And also, my name remains Rele Beleme, and with me this morning is also Alhaji like Mustafa.
Good morning.
How was it yesterday?
Fine.
Okay. So, there are a lot of trending issues.
Yeah.
We're having issues from the, like yesterday night, the issue from the House, United States,
Yeah.
Congress. We didn't. The Republican, the Democrat.
Yeah, it's really interesting because
at the point they have to now hold on and go on break.
Yeah, even up to now, they are still going through a lot of process of dialogue to talk, and you understand that is the beauty of democracy. You see, within the Republican Party, they have already gathered that majority seat in the Congress, but who to become the speaker is the main problem. Ben McCarthy failed. He failed, and they are still going through the process again. It's the process. It's all about who fly the party ticket come 2024.
But I'm suspecting that maybe they just want McCarthy to be the speaker.
They want him to be the speaker.
They're pressurizing him, like putting
not that they don't like him. Some cartel within the Republicans, they are against him because of Trump. Because they don't want Trump to fly the ticket in 2024 anymore, so they are just trying to bring down his power ahead of that time.
He's a member of Republican.
He's a member of Republican, but they don't want it. You understand? They want somebody.
But they have higher number.
They have higher number in the House now, right already. Yes. So they are trying like for instance, they said about 12 or 18 members against McCarthy. So it means he has to go and lobby to them again, and that is the process of what they are doing right now. The beauty of it is, can this kind of a thing happen in Nigeria? Because if you discover that such a thing, if they even sense a little part of it, EFCC certainly will come into play and go after whoever is behind it. So that is the beauty of democracy. At least to some extent they have that separation of power. They are enjoying it. Whoever is a senator or a Congress member has that power and has that voice, and he can speak out and he can voice it out and he can use it at any time.
Well, do you really think that if McCarthy emerges, the Trump issues will still come up?
Well,
because their system is not like our system.
Yeah, you see,
they believe in a pure democracy.
Yeah, they believe in pure democracy, and that is why you now discover that right from when Trump was president, part of member of the Senate who belong to the Republican Party, they were still against him. Part of member of the Congress who are member of the Republican, they are still against him. But it cannot happen here. So, and you now discover that they are trying to see Trump as a baggage that they will offload ahead of their Congress, and that is exactly what they are doing now. Of which I don't think whether they can get away with it, but they can easily get away with it in the sense that the insurrection that happened in January 6th, the House committee has already made a recommendation for them to ban Trump from participating in public office, further participation. So, and all this, even Trump himself, he said, he mentioned it, that it is a political witch hunt against him. Understand? Part of member of the Republicans, they are against Donald Trump. They don't want him to vie again. And Trump, you now discover that Ben McCarthy is having the support and loyalty of Trump. Understand? So you discover that those that are against McCarthy, they are against him because of Trump, not because they don't like him. They like him, but they are against him because of whatever thing that will promote Donald Trump. They don't want it.
But let's also hope that after, I think by the end of today. It's taken about 4 days.
Yes.
4 days.
Yes, and according to one commentator on CNN, he said that for the past 100 days they have never witnessed such kind of an incident.
But that tells you there's change everywhere.
There's change is constant. Change is everywhere. So we just pray that that kind of scenario will fall in Nigeria, because it's only when we have that kind of situation here that we believe that the country will function properly. If we don't have a situation whereby you said, okay, once APC becomes the majority in the House of in the government, they discover that take for instance the issue of the current leadership of the 9th Assembly. It was something that was just deliberated upon from the executive, and at the end of the day now, you now see Lawan and Gbajabi Emiala becoming the Senate President and the Speaker of the House, just smoothly, just like that. That is not how it's supposed to be.
But don't you think that at that point the president is involved?
Yes.
Or president give them a free hand
yes.
to make their choice?
Yes, yes, the president must determine, because we are talking about another arms of the government, which is the legislature. It's, for instance, you now see President Muhammadu Buhari, at every time he now send the executive bill to the legislature for approval. It will require a lot of, if the party that is in control of the National Assembly is in sync with the executive, you discover that it's have easy passage of such bill and some other policies of the government that requires the National Assembly legislative approval. It's okay, so that the president will determine who will become, but not to that extent of anointing a particular candidate, and that candidate must become the speaker or the Senate president.
In case you are following us for the first time or you were interested about our conversation about our news story, do not forget to join us on our social media handle on Facebook, on official at Aspheric, and Instagram is Aspheric News. On Twitter is Aspheric News. Do not forget also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is out there, Aspheric News, Aspheric TV. So I mean to say, and Aspheric TV. Also, don't forget to read more about us on www.asphericnews.com. In case you want to have any information that you want to share with us or content you want to share with us, do not forget to call on us +234 8099 8117. And I repeat, +234 8099 8117. Please do call on us on WhatsApp if you want to join the conversation, if you want to interact with you, if you have any opinion on whatever you want to add, please do not forget to join us as we bring you more detailed stories this morning. For this morning, our first story to discuss today will be on the Vanguard newspaper. So we have the trending issues on the national newspaper yesterday that have been going around, that the Minister of Finance have said that we are borrowing money to fund petrol subsidy. And Nigeria reacted that this is just new. Why are you telling us now that we're borrowing money to fund subsidy? All around, like it was we know that this
it's already there. We were already aware of it, so it's not something new.
So let's just dwell on that. What's your stake on it?
Well, this thing has been going on for quite some time. So on this particular platform here, we said it that look, we should do away with playing politics in everything. So, but you discover that at this particular point, you can't say Nigerians who should not play politics, because everything in Nigeria is politics, and politics is in every sphere of life. Take, for instance, in 2012, the president, when they were opposition, they kicked against the removal of the subsidy, and today now they are in the government, and they are, you understand, so they find it very difficult. This issue of this subsidy is something that is eating too deep into our revenue. It's high time we should come out with a policy to say, okay, look, if we are going to do away with it, we should talk about it, we should deliberate about it. It should be something of a town hall meeting whereby the government will now dialogue with Nigerians to say, okay, look, we just have to let this thing go. If we don't let it go, this is the consequences in the future. Already the government has said, look, we are borrowing to fund the subsidy. About 12 trillion for just last year alone was used to as subsidy. 12 trillion is enough to like turn around the maintenance of the railway line from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. But you discover that we are having this, and the most pathetic aspect of it is that government is saying that they are borrowing to pay subsidy on this, and when we are talking about borrowing, we are talking about piling up of loans on Nigeria, piling up of loan with conditions on Nigeria, and as long as we continue to borrow, we are using over 80% of our revenue to service debt. You understand? That is the most dangerous part of it, that look, we are servicing debt at a very high cost, and we are spending what we are borrowing on something that is not yielding development for Nigeria. And that is the case here. But you discover that the government lacks the political will to remove this thing because of politics itself. Because at any time that they talk about the removal of subsidy, Nigerians must make reference to the position of the government in 2012. The position of the opposition, who are presently the government in 2012. That is the situation here. But we have gone beyond that one. As long as this still remain, amount of money will be going into, amount of money that's supposed to go into to fund developmental project is being
channeled into subsidy. And then again, there's another aspect to the dimension that at sometimes last year, at the National Assembly, the Senate was probing into the subsidy. They called on NNPC to give the figure of the number of petroleum that we consume in Nigeria, but all NNPC could not tentatively come up with the figure to say, okay, this is the amount of petroleum that we are consuming in Nigeria, let alone to know how much is being spent on subsidy. So the whole thing is about fraud itself.
All right, so we have one of our analysis as well online, and we just want to have a quick brief question before she go out. And we're online with one of our top analysts in Aspheric. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy New Year, ma.
Happy New Year to you.
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm very fine. Thank God.
He's not hearing from you, okay, this year.
So fine.
So we are currently deliberating on the Vanguard newspaper front page especially, and one of the interesting stories there has to do with the statement by the finance minister yesterday, that she said that we are borrowing to fund petroleum subsidy, and yes, so she also says that subsidy unsustainable, so what is your stake on that? What do you have to say about that?
Well, the minister has stated what she has seen, what is happening on ground, and that they are borrowing to offer subsidy and all that. With what is happening, it's very glaring that the country is in a big debt. It's very glaring that most of the times it seems that borrowing is on the high side. And the most important thing is that even if they are borrowing for subsidy, they should be able to put infrastructure for future, because it is the future that matters. It is the future generation that will suffer all these things. But the reasonability of the government to put up strong infrastructure, which I think to some extent they are trying to put up infrastructure, to put up things that are going to, but they need to do more. I know that most countries, even developed countries, borrow, and they are still borrowing. Borrowing is part of the government. Borrowing is part of the system. It is part of it. If you know economics very well, you know that there is no how any developed country has come up without borrowing. Most of them,
especially businessmen as well. Yeah.
Yes, most of them borrow. But the most important is that if you borrow, you should be able to use what you have borrowed for something that will be good tomorrow. And you understand? Because there's a payback. There's a payback. People may argue and say, well, we can beg for pardon, we can do that, but it has been done before. We will continue to beg for pardon. Even if we continue to beg for pardon, will they continue to forgive us and let us to cancel our debts? They will not. So we have to, even if we are borrowing, we have to also make sure that there is a facilities on ground. There are things that have been put on ground that will bring about goodness of what we have borrowed from. We're talking about the subsidy. Nigerians should be ready. We have to be ready. It has not been favorable for most Nigerians, with all what is happening. But I think the government should also look at another way. The government promised us when they came in, they were going to make sure that the refineries, the local refineries are working. But we have not seen it. Because if the local refineries are working by now, at least it is going to go a long way, in assisting. The government has to talk to us. They have to tell us what is happening. Why did they promise us local refineries will work? What is happening right now? Where are the local refineries? Why are they not able to meet up with that? What happened? They have to talk to us. They are leading us. They are our leaders. And we are holding them accountable. And we have to listen to them. They have to tell us the reason. So those are the things, some of the minor things that we are having. Yes, they have done well in infrastructure. They are doing roads, second Niger Bridge, the railway line. You can't even talk about that one. That one is a commendable, on that route in Amechi. But there are also other things which we are looking up to, which they say they are going to do, which will also help this property. They say they are borrowing. Why are the local refineries not working right now? Why are they not working? So majorly, that is what I have to say. my own contribution.
All right, thank you so much. And also, we have the issues of how to do with the NDTC board. They were negotiated this at Transcorp Hilton, and you recall
Which board?
NDDC. Sorry, what did you say?
Niger
Delta Development Commission, NDDC. So the negotiation will take place yesterday, and Nigerians rated that there was a court injunction from restricting the chairman. What as a journalist, what do you have to say about all of that, and how do you think that Nigerians will also, properly pay attention to all the issues coming up the horizon?
I think NDC should overhaul. And government should overhaul that NDC. NDC, they are getting so much money, but it has not been turned as if it is a conduit fight for them, for some individuals to be enriching themselves. I think they should set up some conditions. You understand that anybody that is there, money should not be passing through, because I don't understand what is happening there in the city. They are bringing calls, they are doing this. All these that people are fighting for it for their own individual interests, for their own. The community that they are setting up this NDDC, the state, tell me how they are benefiting. Do you know the amount of money that is being budgeted to NDDC? If those money, government in their own wisdom, set up this state, everything they will say federal government. But there are also things that Nigeria should also ask questions. Things like this NDDC. Government set up this NDDC because government wants that Niger Delta area that are producing the oil, for them to use this NDDC to develop that area. How develop are those? What contribution? How many percentage have NDDC put? And what are we seeing? So I think government should just overhaul that NDC and do transparency check. Proper transparency check. Because since NDC, it has become everybody, they are just killing themselves, they are just going up and down because of what? Their own selfish interest. Selfish interest. So that is what I think should be done. All parties, there must be dialogue to be called to the round table. The ones that are agreed, the ones that are being inaugurated, they should come to a round table and they should talk genuinely and take action, not just staying and talking. They should map out strategies and take action. Everybody should come to that. If not, I don't think this problem in NDDC, because they know the money there is too much. It will not stop. It will not stop.
All right. Yesterday, still on Vanguard newspaper, we have following stories on the front page on Vanguard newspaper. We also will have a Tinubu said in Kano yesterday, "I will bring peace, harmony to Nigeria, and if he's been elected as president." They also have petrol tankers driver threatening strike over harassment by security agencies as well.
No, I didn't get you.
We also have in the Vanguard newspaper petrol tankers drivers threatened strike over harassment by security agents. Then also DSS arrested ASWAP commander, ASA commander, one orders for Kogi bomb blast. You recall that President was in Kogi last week, and there was a bomb blast, I think, close to the close to the palace and all of that. Yeah. So with these whole issues that are arising, and at the same time, one interesting story here is that ANEC had received, I think they would be the first the first batch, right?
No, another batch
of beavers. Yes, ANEC have just received, which the chairman did inspection yesterday. Looking at the elections and the insecurity and the promises from the political parties' presidential candidate, what do you have to say about that?
I think the last one that I make of.
So ANEC received their second batch of beavers. I think
beavers machines.
Beavers machines. So the ANEC chairman did inspection of the second batch yesterday. Yeah. Yes. Inspected it yesterday. At the National Airport. So, my question is, what is your stake about that? Like, the political parties are making their promises, what they need to do, what they're going to do. We are having insecurity that had to be the bomb blast, and at the same time, we are having also some oil tankers firms are beginning to plan for strike. So if that happens, that will be difficult for people to move. Wow. And if there is no security, people will.
Let me start with that. I want to commend the security agencies. They have done a good job by arresting that guy. It has been established that the guy was a member, and he was one of those who committed a lot of atrocities. Secondly, he was one of those who also bombed that project with. So the security, they did a good job, but they still have to do more, particularly in terms of intelligence gathering. That means if that guy can stay in Kogi freely and be moving around, if not because of this thing, then he has been doing a lot of things, and he must have other people who are also with him. Beyond, it was 2 of them that were arrested.
Yes.
Beyond just 2 of them, that means. So all the security agencies should still do more of intelligent gathering. The guy, thank God they arrested him. I know that he's going to assist them in giving some information. You understand? So, but to cut the long story short, I think they really tried. They tried by arresting him. You understand? They tried by arresting him. He should be taken to court, like they said, and justice should be done. Then the tanker drivers, they're complaining of. They've been doing that complaint for a long time. They've been complaining of extortion for a very long time, and it's like the thing will go quiet and it will resurface again. I think this should be taken up and addressed. It should be addressed. You understand? Because if they should go on strike, this is a real tight period. You know, I can't imagine the way people are going through the hardship that is going to create on people. But they are doing very noble work, bringing the petroleum. They have to be secured and also to be assured of their safety in terms of in every area. So what we have to look at it, to see how that expression is. If they're going to make a central payment, or I don't know how government is going to go about it, but there has to be a plan that will help them not to be getting every time they're giving money from one place to another short place. You give this one, you give that one, you give that one. How long will they continue like that? It is weighing them down. That is what they are saying. And I should also encourage the issue of this pipe, linking the pipe. You know, Nigeria has reached a stage where we should stop moving oil on the road. And also the rail line. If government can continue with the way they are with the rail issue, they should also we're worried that, they can move. Lagos, Ibadan, they can move. And if government should continue, even if this government leaves, the next government comes and continue with the rail development, it's going to help, because with the plan of the government to link every city, to link all the states, if the rail lines are finally and link across the country, that will go a long way in helping, because rail line, the Honorable Minister of Transportation usually says the major importance of rail lines is the movement of goods, not even passengers. So if they can do that and link the rail line, all of this oil, they will be moved. The fuel will be moved by rail, and also they also do pipes too. So it will reduce all this stress. These things can be tackled. We can do it. But also government needs to continue. The President Buhari's administration has gone his own. They will soon move. When the next one comes, they should continue with the good plan. You understand? And I believe with time, very soon, if there is a sincerity of purpose and continuity, all these problems will be solved. Because this issue of extortion, it has been on for a while. It has been on for a while. If they stop it tomorrow again, you still hear of it. The day after tomorrow, you hear of it. But if they should do another, like the government, previous government did communication. Now everybody has a hand, make sure that everybody has a hand mobile phone. So all this problem of NITEL with landline, it has been solved. So there's always a solution to everything. Then the INEC issue, well, the parties, different political parties have been making promises. Nigerians will tell you that we are tired of promises. We are tired of promises that are not being fulfilled. We need these leaders, these these people who are seeking for our vote, we need them to come and talk to us, because we need to ask them questions. We need to see their manifesto. We need to look at their manifesto and just be able to be asking questions, and the people that are going to lead us should know that we are going to be holding them accountable. It's not going to be as usual. Nigerians are getting enlightened. You can't just come and promise somebody you're going to put light, you're going to put water, we'll change everything. They have been telling us since time immemorial, and it's like when they finish promising, nothing happens. Yes, the INEC is bringing out rolling out this thing. We are expecting a political party. We want to see their intention. We want to hear from them. We want to talk to them. It's not just going about. We want to sit them down and ask them questions. So,
wow, thank you so much. Nigeria are really tired. That's what I'm saying. Nigeria are really tired about complaining and all. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll see have you maybe tomorrow or next. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Alhaji, you've heard all that she said. And,
well, I believe that you try to like relate everything that is happening now. That is like a prelude to what will transpire at the election. These are problems that will aggregate. Just like INEC last week or 2 weeks ago, they have now raised an alarm that this issue of insecurity may likely mar election in some certain places, of which this thing continues. We have been seeing burning of INEC offices around the country. Then INEC on its own has been doing all what they are supposed to do. That, like you pointed out, that they received another batch of the beavers yesterday. That is to show that INEC is as an umpire in this election. They are preparing. They are doing all their best. But their best cannot be enough if other agencies are not living up to their task. For instance, the Nigeria Police Force. INEC can only raise alarm. The issue of security, internal security, it's all exclusive right of the Nigeria Police and the DSS. So it's not left for them now to do what they're supposed to do to preempt and make the conduct of the election peaceful. Then you have the tankers drivers too. A situation whereby if we have a rowdy situation whereby ahead of the election, certainly it will affect movement of persons here and there and the election itself. So these are problems. The other aspect, which is the arrest of ISWAP members in Kogi State, well, we should have to commend DSS. Before now, there was an issue between Natasha Akpoti, senatorial candidate in Kogi, whereby she accused the governor of the state of being complicit to the issue of this terrorism in Kogi, because she said this particular guy, one of them was in Kuje prison and aided the bombing of the Kuje prison. He said, look, the guy has been working for the state governor, of which it was an allegation. That kind of lengthy of accusation, we expect that ordinarily the governor of the state will now institute a legal action against the Natasha Akpoti, but he didn't. Then you come to this whereby a havoc was caused and life was lost at the Ohinoyi of Egbiraland Palace last week. You understand? So this is a problem. So DSS has already done their own work. They have been able to make an arrest. They should do more. Just like the other reporter said, they should do more and make sure that whoever has hand in this trouble, they should be arrested and bring to book. They should prosecute them. Nigerians are eager to see free and fair election, just like she said that we are tired of promises. Yes, we are tired of promises because it's now becoming like a ritual whereby every 4 years, politicians will come out, roll out their promises and say, okay, we are going to do this. But at the end of the day, when they are in the power, what they will do is completely different from what they promised Nigerians. That is to say, there is a disconnection between the leaders and the led. Because what we want, if you ask us to say, okay, what we want now, let's relate it to this issue of this subsidy. Nigerians are not happy to say, okay, at the end of the day, government is complaining that, look, money that we're supposed to use to put down a capital project is what is being used to pay subsidy. Subsidy per se is not like it's bad. Subsidy is not bad. Even in America, you discover that only few percentage of the people are into farming. But America has food security. They farm and produce enough food that sustain their population and as well export, because they regard food as a national security. When we relate it to here, they are paying subsidy to them. But if we here that will ordinarily,
you have to pay your child. You send your child to a private school. You send your ward to a university, private hospital, everything private. Virtually, government is like not doing anything. So if government is giving out subsidy on fuel, Nigerians would key into that. But you understand that the whole complaint about this subsidy of a thing is because it's rooted in secrecy. Nigerians do not even know the amount of fuel that is being consumed daily. So Nigerians do not even know that. Since we don't know that, government is saying, okay, we are paying subsidy on this. So all this is because our refineries are not working. We have our local refineries that are not working. We have the Port Harcourt refinery, we have Warri refinery, we have the Kaduna refinery. Virtually all of them, they are in comatose, they are not working. And government is saying that, look, the turnaround maintenance in all those refineries, even if they should do the turnaround maintenance, it will still not work. So government now is now relying heavily on a Dangote refinery, a private entity, a private individual, an individual that's invested in this, that only that will save Nigeria, and that is the situation now. As long as we don't refine our crude oil here, we continue to rely on the importation of fuel. Certainly, this subsidy will the issue of subsidy will remain, and that is where we are afraid of. Well, it's high time that, look, government is saying that we are borrowing. If you are borrowing, it's just like you and I. If we are borrowing to say, okay, you borrow for consumption, it means you are not moving forward. It means you are not on the productive side. That is the situation. So if the government should think that, look, we are borrowing to fund subsidy, which is a recurrent expenditure, which is not capital expenditure, it means that we are not progressing as a nation. So that is, we should tell ourselves the truth that, look, we are not on the right path. For us to be on the right path, government must start investing in capital expenditure. Take, for instance, like capital expenditure like the Lagos Ibadan railway, Itakwe railway, or whatever the thing that they decide to invest in. That is progress. But the situation whereby they borrow, the whole thing about the borrowing is like this. You that you are borrowing, you are servicing that debt that you are borrowing, and 80% of your revenue is going into servicing that debt. We're not moving, we're not progressing, we're like dormant, we're like borrow for consumption, which is not okay in economics.
One interesting story here that people in Nigerians have also looking at is what is the same statement about borrowing and not borrowing and all of that. He said federal government said incoming administration will inherit 77 trillion debt.
It's worrisome.
So most times
it's quite disturbing.
Yeah, yes, it is.
It's quite disturbing.
People were writing to that on social media and all. But I just hope, because I recall when the former minister in transport was in the office, and he told us sometimes that the railway loan, I have been gradually paying it, and I think he mentions the amount of money that have been paid so far and what was left. Yeah, well, but I don't know what it does.
Yeah, you see, just like our reporter did now said regarding borrowing, even America borrow as advanced as an American borrow. Yes. You understand? So and
China,
just like the former minister Rotimi Amechi said that, look, at a particular forum, like, he now confronted the correspondent from one of the media houses. He said, look, if you said we don't borrow from China, give us other outlet to say, okay, with a favorable condition like the China is giving, that we should borrow. We all know that the Western nations, if they are giving you condition for their loan, it's so stringent that for you to be able to meet up, it's a problem. So if we are borrowing, the issue about this borrowing is about what are we borrowing for? Understand? If we borrow to fund the railway project, good and fine, because railway project is like a legacy project that it will remain for the next 100 years. Even more than that, it will remain. But when we borrow to say, okay, you pay overhead costs of salaries of federal government workers, it means that you are borrowing for consumption, which is not it's not sustainable. If you borrow to say, okay, you are funding a road project, good and fine, because that road, Nigerians require to move from one point to another point to carry out their economic activities and grow. And then even that one, you now discover that government can decide to toll a particular road to say, okay, take for instance like the second Niger bridge that has been opened. The minister of works, he said that, look, they are going to toll, meaning that it will require maintenance. Because it requires maintenance, they must collect certain amount of levies on whoever applied that road to pay. So by the end of the day, government will now gather some revenue to like fund the maintenance, which is okay. But there's a situation about we borrow to say, okay, we are borrowing to pay subsidy. That is not. It's not what we clamor for.
We have a story on Nation front page of Nation newspaper that Tinubu Shettima APC chief shot down Kano yesterday. Yeah. There's trending pictures of a mammoth crowd yesterday from the Kano. That should be the biggest crowd so far among all contenders. That should be the biggest crowd so far.
But one thing that we must tell ourselves the truth, because don't you think it was a situation whereby this same crowd that turned out today, if another candidate now come over to Kano, some of them will still come up again?
You have to wait to see that.
We have seen that before. You understand? So you can't. Coming 2023 election is going to be a very interesting one, because you are not going to rely only on crowd only. Before now, Kano has always been playing that deciding factor in an election. So we give it to APC presidential candidate for them to be able to pull up this kind of mammoth crowd. We give it to them. So it's all left for them to now transform from their dream to reality.
So, but one statement he made yesterday that he promised to save Nigeria. Progressive governors will deliver at pool, says Bagoda. So he made a promise yesterday that he will save Nigerian and Nigerian government. So he make some kind of. What do you have to say about that?
These are promises. Every candidate is giving promises here and there. Every candidate is giving promises. So, and before now, since 1999, that we step into this this democracy. Politicians have been giving out promises, but it's not. Nigerians will tell you that, look, all these promises, they have not been able to match their action with the promises that they made. So come 2023, we are going to see more of that. Just like our reporters said, that look, politicians should come out, if not the campaign rally of a town hall meeting whereby you are making promises only. They should subject themselves to that question and answer session with Nigerians who said, okay, come out, sit down, make it a public debate, public engagement, whereby Nigerians will ask you, if you said, okay, I'm going to secure Nigeria, I'm going to save Nigeria, how are you going to save Nigeria? How are you going to secure Nigeria? You understand, these are things that we must tell ourselves the truth, Dr. Israel. It's not just mere statement to say, okay, I'm going to save you this or that. We have gone beyond that. Since we have gone beyond that, we are now enlightening. Nigerians are enlightening people. Nigerians are eager to engage with whoever is contesting for 2023 presidency, so that they'll hear from them directly and answer them questions.
Thank you so much. In case you're joining for the first time, do not forget to follow us now on social media handle. Our social media handle are out there on display on the screen, on Facebook official as Spheric News, on Instagram as Spheric News, on Twitter as Spheric News. Also, do not forget to join us on the show. Please just call on WhatsApp only, WhatsApp call only at +234 9999 8117, and I repeat the number +234 9999 8117. Read us more on www.oursphericnews.com. At www.oursphericnews.com, you will get some stories, interesting stories, and breaking news from our news website. Also, do not forget to subscribe on our social media handle, also on our YouTube page, especially on our YouTube page, to get more update on notification. Please do not forget to click on the notification button on our YouTube page, Aspheric TV. Our YouTube page is Aspheric TV. Please do not forget. Thank you so much for joining us. And Haji Mustafa, I want to say thank you so much for joining us this morning and finding your time away to come and also analyze our news. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for our viewers, to interesting stories. Thank you so much for everyone who has contributed to us this year. And nothing this year will be a better year. And I want to wish you once more Happy New Year and have a blessed day. And until we meet here again, thank you.